Hello and welcome to Game Like Training's first video from our brand new Learning and Performance Centre. Now, you might be able to tell we're not quite open for business yet, but that's not going to stop us putting our golf education out there. And the topic of today's video, how outcomes can degrade learning. I'm going to say that again because it's very important. How outcomes can degrade learning. And in this video, we're going to explain to you why we decided to invest in the well put mat rather than a putting green. At Game Like Training, it's our mission to help golfers think differently and train differently. And there's a phrase, any putt that goes in the hole is a good putt. Well, that might be if you were practicing your performance, true, but if you're practicing to learn, and there's a big difference between the two, any putt that goes in the hole actually robs you of a chance of feedback. So let's take a closer look at that with the well put mat. So if I'm practicing, let's say, my short putts, so I take my address, now there's a chance that that would have gone in the hole if I was on a putting green. So my assumption is that's a good putt. But if I'm training to practice my speed, if I'm training to learn the skill of speed, that's a terrible putt. It was hit way too hard. If we'd have had a hole cut here and it would have gone in, if the ball would have entered the hole, that would have degraded my learning. It would have robbed me of the opportunity to get feedback on the speed that I hit that putt. And as that ball basically rolls out the door and down the freeway, I now know that I hit that putt too hard. So the next putt, I can make the adjustment. So again, we can now see I'm into the good zone. So this is the absolute reason that Game Like Training have decided to go with the well put mat instead of having a putting green with holes installed. We want to offer the chance for our students to learn as well as perform. So we believe the well put mat is a great learning tool to do this. Recently, we filmed a video with putting expert Preston Combs. Now we'll be releasing this in the fall, Preston's putting course. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna complement the video that we've just done with one of Preston's drills. So pay close attention to how Preston talks about putting, speed, and getting feedback. And notice that he removes the hole from this drill. And again, it was Preston's expertise that drove us to think about how outcomes degrade learning and using the well put mat as a tool for teaching our students. So Ramel, roll Preston's tip.
So when we're using the small baseline stroke, we're not just randomly hitting putts trying to make the same size and same tempo, but rather we're tracking the end results that we're producing with each of the strokes. We want to eliminate the outliers for what might be moving too fast or too big or too small or too slow. When I'm going through this exercise, I'll hit my first putt, again trying to match up good size and tempo, but then I'm going to mark the golf ball with a penny, and I'll hit a series of 5 of these putts that's going to give me an opportunity to see where the majority of my putts are stopping. After I hit a series of 5, I'm going to be able to track the end results and figure out maybe if there's one stroke that was moving too fast or too large or too small or too slow. After I've hit my series of 5 putts, I'm going to take a look at the pennies I've placed down there that marks the end or finishing point for each of the golf balls, and we're going to identify what's most common within the pattern here. As we take a closer look, you'll see that 2 of these pennies might be outliers. Those are putts that might have been too big or too fast in size, or too small or too slow. And I'm figuring that the majority of my results, if I'm very good at this exercise, should end up in about the same spot. My goal on the next set of 5 putts that I'm going to hit is going to be, instead of pennies, use dimes and try to get all 5 of the dimes to fall within the same window. But again, no further than the longest first putt, or no shorter than the shortest putt from the first set. So as we discussed, I'm going to hit my second series of 5 putts using the small baseline stroke, and I'm going to mark off that set with dimes here. You can see that my shortest short putt and my longest of the 5 putts end up closer together, and I'm starting to be able to better identify my tempo within using that small baseline stroke. My dispersion's smaller, which means I'm going to be more predictable on the golf course. Now, if we're going to take this exercise out to the golf course, I need to identify where I'm going to place my ghost hole. If I'm measuring from where I hit the putt to where I'm going to envision the cup for this exercise, a lot of golfers tend to place the hole right in the middle of the dispersion. But if we're hitting short putts, and again, our small baseline stroke should go about maybe 10 to 12 feet in total distance, I'm actually going to place the ghost hole towards the front part of my dispersion. I want to ensure that when I'm hitting a short putt, that it at least gets to the very front edge of the cup. If we look at data presented for PGA Tour players, a very, very small percentage of putts are left short from inside of 10 feet. Players simply give up too much by not getting short putts to the hole. If we can establish our small baseline reference for how far the ball's traveling, we can best identify that if that stroke rolls 10 feet, I'm probably going to want to place the cup about 9 to 9.5 feet. And I'll use that size and tempo stroke for that length of putt.
A great drill there from Preston. Keep your eyes out for his course that we will be releasing in the fall to help you practice putting, taking your game to the next level. Now, I can't give Preston all the credit. Someone that we're very, very fortunate to associate with through Game Like Training has also informed us that outcomes degrade learning. Dr. Anders Ericsson, an expert in human performance from Florida State, has also shared this message with us. So again, through listening to Dr. Ericsson, we decided this summer to change our tactic with a few of our players and remove the hole from a lot of their putting practice. So we made a clear distinction. Is a student's goal in this practice session training to learn? Are they training to learn speed, to evolve their distance control with the putter? Or are they training to perform? Is it a task that they're going to go into and get it done? If it was the first option, training to learn, we completely removed the hole from everything that they did, be it putting to a tee or a ghost hole like in Preston's video, or even just to nowhere. But we removed the hole from the training to learn process. The results were pretty staggering. We focused in on 9 college players that I work with. They all embarked on this training to learn mission with some education, understanding that we were removing the hole, some inspiration, some compelling reasons to get them to do it, to change their practice habits. And then they went away and practically applied it. They applied it at home on the well put mat. They applied it on the putting green, putting to a ghost hole and a tee peg. And every single one of these players, of these 9 players that we've done it with, their 3-putt avoidance has got better and their strokes gained putting has got better. So even though this is only a small sample size, we can now see at Game Like Training Dr. Ericsson's words outcomes degrade learning, Preston's putting drills, removing the hole, using a ghost hole, how they help us evolve skills. So, very, very important for golfers to make a clear distinction. Are you training to learn? If you want to get better at controlling the speed of the golf ball, the tempo and length of your stroke, remove the hole, use something like a well put mat, a great learning device, use a ghost hole on the putting green. If you're training to perform, what you're gonna do is you're gonna start going more to, yes, holing putts, more of a process-driven performance mindset, have the pressure of an outcome and learn to get it done. This is how we build skills, retain skills, and transfer skills into tournament play. We're not quite finished yet. If you want to learn more about the difference between training to learn and training to perform for your golf, visit this website, get hold of a copy of our new book, Golf Practice, How to Take Your Range Game to the Course. Then if you want to take things to the next level and get your very own well put mat, be our guest. Check out this website to purchase a well put. And finally, keep your eye out for Preston's putting course. It will be available in the fall, some amazing content that can help you become a great putter, practice effectively, think differently, and enjoy shooting lower scores. So give Preston a follow on Instagram and keep your eyes peeled on our website for Preston's putting course coming very soon.